Hi everyone, welcome in SAS Program 90 days. Welcome in SAS VIYA session day 19. So today we will see the SAS VIYA foundation. Okay, so we are doing the Model Studio. Okay, what is a Model Studio and what are the components of the Model Studio? With the Model Studio, we are doing three types of analysis. Okay, so first is SAS Visual Data Mining and the Machine Learning. Okay, and SAS second is SAS Visual Text Analytics. Then we have the SAS Visual Forecasting. Okay, we have three main analysis in these SAS Model Studio. Okay, so we have SAS Model Studio in main container for analytic work is a project. Okay, so project contains, so in the SAS Model Studio we have a main container is a project. Okay, so because whenever we are going into the model SAS drive, okay, we are clicking on the build model. Okay, this is the Model Studio. So in this we are creating some projects. We are clicking on the new project and we are creating some project in the Model Studio. Okay, so project contains the data source, pipeline, and the metadata. Okay, so what is the data source? So let's suppose we have the CAS environment here. So we have some data that is available by the SAS. Okay, SAS help library. Okay, so we have these data that is available by demo data given by the SAS. Then we have the data source. In the data source we have CAS environment. In the CAS we have some data that is available here, and also we can create some connection if you want. Then we have the import. Okay, import is for, let's suppose you have some folders, you have some local files, so you, and also you can connect with your system. Okay, with your drive, office drive. Okay, so this is a data source. Next we have the pipeline. Okay, so we are working on the pipeline whenever we are working on the SAS in this. Okay, so let's suppose I'm creating some demo session. I given my project name as a demo, and I selected we have three types here: data mining and machine learning. Then we have forecasting and the text analytics. So we are doing data mining and the machine learning, and we have option data for browse. Okay, so I'm selecting the okay, so I'm selecting the default any data. Let's suppose I selected the fleet train data. Okay, so I selected that data, then I click on the OK. 42 columns and the rows are 8.3 k and 3 MB data is a size. Okay, all the location they given. Okay, and this is how we are selecting the data. Next we are doing the pipeline. Okay, what is a pipeline? Okay, so and I'm going into the project setting. In the partition I given the training for 70 and I'm giving test for 0. Okay, so it's depend on your data. If you want to give for any number for your test, so you can create it. Okay, so you can give the 5% or 10% of your data for the testing purpose. Okay, I click on the opening project. Okay, so I click on the opening project. Now they uploading my data in the Model Studio. Okay, now if you can see here, we have four options here for tab here: data, pipeline comparison, and the insights. Okay, so first of all they will in the data tab, what we need to do, we need to select the target first. Okay, whenever we are creating data mining and machine learning process, so we have to select the target. You must assign a variable the role for target in order to run a pipeline. Okay, so I'm selecting my target. Okay, so we have this data is related to field train. Okay, so you have to check on that particular one. Trip time we have. So this data is related to the trip. So we have trip related data. So I selected the trip distance. Okay, and I selected as the target of the trip distance. Okay, so I given the target. Now we can move forward. Okay, and else I given by default I given uh, the input or rejected by automatically by this as. Okay, next I'm going into the pipeline. Okay, in the pipeline now you can see here we have the data only. Okay, data is showing the your data in that particular ones. Okay, so in the data, let's suppose we have this option in the left hand side. Okay, now you can see here data mining, pre-processing, supervised learning, post processing, and the miscellaneous. Okay, now I'm clicking on the data mining process because I want to do some data mining first, then we are creating some structure. Okay, so this is called the pipeline. Okay, now I'm creating the pipeline here. First I'm doing, I right click and add a child node. Else if you want, you can draw drag and drop. Okay, so I drop it here. Now this is one pipeline is created. First is data step, then imputation. Okay, so this is called the pipeline. Next we have the metadata. What is a metadata? Metadata is a project type, project creator or creation date, and the last update. That is called the metadata. Okay, and also now in the last session we discussed about the artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay, now we will see the deep learning. What is a deep learning? Okay, so we will see first we are creating some pipeline here, one model here. Okay, so imputation is done. Okay, imputation I created. Next we are okay, so after, because imputation is we are checking the missing data, imputes missing values of for a class and interval inputs using a specified method. Okay, next is the transformation. Okay, so now I'm selecting as a transformation here. I drop it the transformation. Else if you want, you can right click and you click on the transformation. Okay, after the transformation uh, so transformation is done. Now I'm sending this for clustering because I want to see the clustering the data, because this is data related to trip. Okay, so clustering is done. Next step is variable creation. Now I'm creating some variable, sorry, variable selection. Okay, variable selection is done. Okay, after the variable selection now I'm adding my structure here. Okay, variable selection. After that I'm adding again transformation. Now I'm adding my models here one by one. Okay, so transformation is also done. Now I'm adding the first as the in the supervised learning. Okay, so let's suppose add the here. Okay, so let's suppose if you want to do gradient boosting. Okay, that I have done. Okay, and more we can do. Okay, after the gradient, what I'm doing, I'm adding more. Okay, so this is the pipeline. So we are adding as per your requirement. We are creating some nodes, and we are creating some analysis. We are adding the model by one by one. Okay, after the transformation. Okay. Okay, so we have many things are here. Okay, because this is depend on your requirement. So what you want with your data. Okay, so that we can creating with this one. Okay, in the data mining process we can't do anything here. So after the gradienting, so after the gradient boosting, so after the transformation you need to do the supervised learning, and the supervised learning you can add many models here. Okay. Okay, this is the miscellaneous. In the miscellaneous, we have the data exploration, open SAS code, safe code, and the segment profiles. Okay, this is I have done. Let's suppose I'm adding one logistic regression model here also. Okay, and if you want to add from the here up before the transformation, if you want to add some model, so you can also add some model here. Let's suppose. I'm adding the forestry. Okay, so this is done. So let's suppose I created this model. Now I'm running my pipeline here. So it's take a time because they will be running one by one. So now my pipeline is completed. Now you can see here this is the completed here. Okay, let's see the pipeline comparison here. Okay, in the pipeline comparison. Okay, so we created the forest one. Okay, now we have the ASE. Okay, average secured error, and the sum of frequencies here. Okay, and this is the ASE. Okay, number of trees. Next we have the code. Okay, now we have the scope inputs, scope outputs. Okay, now we have the predicted mean. Okay, so we have the predicted report here, predicted mean here. Okay, and this is about the number of trees is 100, number of variables per split is 4. Okay, the all the details are here. Next we're going in the insights. Okay, insights will be give you the brief about the all the pipeline. Okay, but you have done the analysis. Okay, so this is showing the champion model is project is forest. Okay, forest model we used. The model was chosen based on the average ASC is validated partition is 16.23, and the five important factors GPS, attitude, and GPS bearing, filtered intake air, and the this is the variables. Okay, now we have the assessment. All models are available here. Here we have the predictions. Okay, actual versus predicted in the champion model. This is the actual versus predicted model champion, and this is the variables, most important variables in champion model: GPS, attitude, altitude, and GPS bearing, and feet ID. Okay, so this is showing all the details of the most important variable what is, and here we have the actual predicted and the predicted for the champion model. Okay, so this is how we are creating the pipeline, how we are using the pipeline, and the all these with the data mining and the machine learning. Okay, in the last we have the deep learning. So what is a deep learning? So in the last session I given the all the brief about the artificial intelligence, machine learning and the deep learning. So deep learning, what is a deep learning? Deep learning is about the computers learning to think using the structures model uh, on human brain. It mimics a human brain. Okay, deep learning is basically we are saying it's mimic for human brains. So that is called the deep learning. Okay, different techniques for the neural network in the deep learnings. Okay, we have three types of neural network in the deep learning, that is ANN, CNN and the RNN. Okay, so what is a ANN? ANN is used to solve the numbers data. Okay, so artificial neural network is basically for solving the numbers data, and the CNN is a conventional neural network is used to solve the image data. Okay, so it's for related to image related data we are using the CNN model. Then we have the RNN. Recurrent neural network is used to solve the time series data. So related to the forecasting, we are using the RNN neural network. Okay, recurrent neural network for this, because we have the time series data. Time series data is mainly for the forecasting related. Image data sometimes have, so we are using the CNN, and if we have the numeric data, then we are using the ANN. Okay, and also we have one more in the CNN. We have the advanced CNN, that is called the transformed learning. Okay, so that is also in the deep learning. Okay, so this is all about, so today we have done about the basics, what is a data model, what is the deep learning, and what is the types, and what is a pipeline, what is a data source. Okay, thank you.